Baby Jane,
Goodie.
let's start this Angola adventure, né? Let's do a lekker YouTube video again of this trip in Angola. Day 1. So if you see that sign and you see that Johnny on the horse there, you only know one place. On Jiva! So let's go do Shoprite. Marlene is getting champers. Only reason Marlene is stopping in on Jiva is for the champers. So baby Jane, kom ek draai die camera net om. So there's the guy on the horse, and this one says, "You heart Kunene." I love the Kunene because this is part of the Kunene region, and there is the Shoprite. Let me go show you what's going on in the Shoprite. Baby Jane, let's go shop. Ja, die man en die hond. There's even the dog. So yeah, let's go do Shoprite shopping. So this is Shoprite. Let's go do Shoprite. Wat 'n lekker balloon festival in Shoprite. But let me go show you beautiful Shoprite. This is the fruit and veg section. Check this out. Freshest of fresh. You're gonna look for far to find more fresh fruit and vegetables. This side is fruit. This side is Kimonatikaufela vegetables. Even chilies, garlic, onions. And then let me go show you where's my linky. Cabbage, Coca-Cola. Let's see if my Yep. Where do I find Malinki? Where do I find Malinki? So this is where I find Marlene, Champagne Queen. I don't think she's the Damara Queen anymore. She's a Champagne Queen now. So all of the, except for Angola, there's the Kuka, Tigra, Dupel, No-Cal, beers and more cheap. 10 rand. This one is like 5-6 rand for a beer. All the vinos. Malinki, are you in your happy place?
Definitely.
No, listen here. Check here. Working out prices.
Ja, kyk.
Maar dit klink verskriklik.
Mimosa.
90
rand for mimosa. Bargain. Check the whole Trans-Africa. Where are they? In the Dop shop. Yeah. So yeah, Shoprite. We always love stopping at this Shoprite. So let's do a little bit of shopping. So this is Shoprite takeaway. Look at all this beautiful, this fajao, mursa lekker, chicken, little bit of porco and chicken, salads, all the salads, even this pudding, check there. But now, where's Trans-Africa? Paus. Gaan nou vir jou wys. So we're going to get paus for lunch. Mursamur. So this is the paus we're going to buy now. These ones, this is the paus. So that was on Jiva, Malinki, and the Shoprite in Onjiva. Malinki loves that Shoprite.
Oh, yeah.
So our next stop is at the memorial tree for Major Fred Lotter. Let me tell you the sad story of what happened there once we get there. Always the scars of war staying with us for a long time. So this is the memorial tree of Major Fred Lotter from 5-3 Battalion, who was killed in combat. And this is his memorial. Then you get people that does things like this. Regardless of history, nobody of us can change history. There's nothing you can do, good or bad. All we can do from history is to learn from it. But to come and deface a memorial like this for a guy that gave his life for whatever he believed in the border war, and to come bend this and deform this, what kind of a human are you? But anyways, I'm gonna see if I can maybe fix this. Asai.
Jou knie agter my kry.
Asai man.
Away. Away maar as kind.
Massa kind.
That's mooi Georgie.
Asai. So, even if you don't agree with history and what happened in history, please don't deface memorials, especially when it's for a life lost. You gain nothing by that. So this is the memorial for Fred Lotter, Major Fred Lotter, that in 1988, I think it was the 18th of April, if I remember correctly. Yep, 18 April. A day after Malinki's birthday. He died in contact, but almost like a fluke, because he was standing in the hatch of a Casper, and in contact they missed him, but they hit the, what do you call it, the dome, the lid on the backside. It ricocheted, hit him in the back of the head, and he succumbed to his wound. And his fellow military servicemen came and they honored his life by doing this memorial on this beautiful old baobab tree. So this is between Shankongo and Ochiva. Now those that know a little bit of the border war, this was an extremely hot piece of real estate. Lots of contacts, lots of skirmishes on this road, as well as from Shankongo towards Kahama. Very hot real estate. So later on this trip, we're still gonna see some T-54 tanks, BRT personnel carriers, and when we get there, I'm gonna tell you a story of those. But for now, we're gonna look for somewhere to chow. So yeah, start these choppers, and in honor of Major Fred Lotter, one of the casualties of the Angola border war. What a moer lekker spot for lunch in the shade of this old Mopani tree. Malinkie, jy moet na die kouvella broodjies, né? So in the shade of this beautiful old Mopani tree, we're gonna make broodjies now. Die mense is honger, man. Die mense wil eet. So I'm gonna do a little bit of a food inspection to see who's got the most lekker lunch today. I think this bachelor. Kykie there. So like a bachelor. That's a bachelor. Diana, wat 'n magic gaan jy maak uit jou wa uit? Ja. Woo, wie ek. So yeah, Malinkie, let's open this Johnny Wagon kitchen. But check this beautiful combination. This patrolly, and this Conqueror. Kimunati beautiful. Almost more beautiful than Malinkie, but not quite. Hey, my Damara Queen is the most beautiful in the world. Nee, baby? Look, she's even working. Kyk hoe hard werk Malinkie. Yes, Malinkie is a hard worker. She's a fast learner.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Let's do lunch. So me and Malinkie, we keep it simple, but I must tell you something about this cheese. We only get it in Angola. Even if Malinkie eats moer. So lekker cheese, salami, and this knife, moer. Check there. Kimonati, where's the sun now, man? Kimonati Kaufela knife, ne? So this guy is from Okahanya, Sackett. I'll do a separate video on the quality of this guy's knives. So he blessed us. Hey Malinkie man, help man, Malinkie man. Blessed us with this unbelievable Johnny. So Malinkie is going to use it now to make some lunch. So our next stop brings us to these BRTs, Russian personnel carriers. These were almost the same as the Ratels, just much more inferior. So this one, as you can see, a big chunk out of that. Now most probably Ratel 90, Nodikar, or maybe Eland 90 that the damage. Just check how the metal of the impact has made this to burst outside. So here's the hatches. It had a turret. This is where the driver sits. So this was the viewpoint of the driver. So you can still see the faint green and brown camo of Fapla. That was most probably the unlucky receiving side of this ambush. So this was an ambush that was laid here. There's another one on the opposite side of the road there, and then under that tree there's another one there. So like I said, this was one hell of a piece of hot real estate. Both sides of the war, a very dangerous piece of road to travel on. But it's good that Angola leave these things and don't recycle it for scrap metal, because each one of these is a silent memorial to people that have died here, and to remind us to never ever ever go back to times like this. Never. War is only something nice to boast about for those that have not been there. Let that sink in for a moment. Alright, so this is another Russian troop carrier. So you can see this was an open carrier. There's the benches. But check there's the stuk uitgeruk daarso. So I'll just see around if you can see the contact, where it made contact, most probably on the other side. Or this could have been the lead one that detonated the landmine. It looks like maybe the front one, because usually when you did a doodsakker like this, you did the first vehicle detonated a landmine that was planted, and then all hell broke loose. So yeah, personnel carrier. Yeah, we can check how this metal has been sheared away. You can see the bulge here as well. There's a big bulge. So most probably landmine. Yep, landmine. All of this is blown away. So this was definitely the front vehicle, detonated the stopper group landmine. So this is the last stop, military hardware stop for today. Those that know will know this is a T-54 tank. So this one stranded between Onjiva and Sangongo, came to its final resting place here. So very, very interesting old relic, Bush War relic, final resting place. Almost as tough as that Conqueror urban escape vehicle. And unbelievable. Turn around, Konrad. After so many years, the turret is still working. Draai bietjie in die ronde, man. Kyk hierso. So many years and it's still working. Yeah. found our solitude, our campsite, in the shade of these beautiful old mopanis. So everybody is busy pitching camp. There's another one behind this bunker or this brim. There's another one. Let's see. Where's the other Johnnies? So yeah, there's somebody. There's another one. There's another one. So this is a very, very, very special place in Angola, because this is where the Cubans fortified their bunkers, where they had a very big bunker system on this spot. So as you can see, there's huge craters around this place. There's one of the craters. So this is where most probably big bombs fell. A lot of them around here. If you go up with the drone, you see it much better. But let me go show you the network of bunkers in this place. So when I visited this place a couple of years ago, the first time, this was all dilapidated. Some of the bunkers already fell in, and you almost like on your own risk went into the bunkers. And there's still a lot of ordnance lying around this place, but I'm going to show you now what it looked like if I find the footage. So this is what it looked like a couple of years ago. Very dilapidated, very fallen in, dark. So now the Angola government came, sorry for the wind is pumping today, and they redid this whole network. So this on top, I'm going to show you first. This is the ventilation shafts that they built. So under each of these, there's most probably a room or a tunnel underneath this, very well hidden away. Back in the war, this would definitely have not been white like it is now. So there's one of the entrances. When we visited this place last time, it was locked. Let's see, maybe we're lucky. It's not. Ah, you see, it is open. So let me get my flashlight, turn it on. Let's see if we can go in here. So they redid all of these bunkers very, very nicely. As you can see now, the walls, let me just put it on a little bit more zoom. So the roofs have been redone, and now you can go into what was most probably the rooms, and now you can see the work of these ventilation shafts. There you go. So not only did it give light on the inside, but the guys that redid it did a very, very good job. Look, even the poles still have dates and stuff on them. So if you go into this is all tunnels with another ventilation shaft and another room. Yeah, this is nice that it's been completely redone like this, because it's important that places like this are kept like this for future generations to still live and see the history of places like this. Just check here, big rebar sticking out. So this is a Moorse labyrinth. So this most probably was rooms, or if it was used as an HQ, offices, but I think this most probably was rooms, officer bunkers, most probably. Again, inside here, bliksem. This has been really, really lots of bats. So I don't think I'm going into that one. So that's the home of the vlerkemuis. One just flew into my back now. Oof. So these ones that's so dark, That's where the bats live. So yeah, let's go. Another one with a ventilation shaft. So a labyrinth of tunnels and rooms. Another one there. And then this one goes out to the exit on this side. So yeah, this is the bunkers, and I'm so happy that they redid all of this. And there's the stairs going out to the outside again. But so glad that this is being preserved and redone. So yeah, that was day one. Imagine how much lekkerte is still to come. Still, I think 9 days or so of exploring and showcasing the beauty, the history. Let's not forget the beautiful places. Angola, your beauty. Let's do this.